Okay, welcome to another episode of Motivational Monday, where each one teach one. Myself and my co-host Andy is on tonight. I'm going to bring him on a little later. Father, thank you for your gift of new day and the possibilities that can come on this new day. Thank you for renewing our strength each day as we trust in you. Thank you for your faithfulness, your promise to know us immediately. You know our secrets. You know us better than anyone, better than we know ourselves. Teach us, Lord, and the rest will be in your presence, not to be afraid and anxious. We want our hearts to beat in sync with you. We submit our minds, will, heart, and soul. Help us to see clearly what our plans is for you. Help us to stay close to you always, not living in the past, but pressing forward to new things you have in store for us. In Jesus' precious name I pray. Amen and amen. If you're celebrating a birthday today, I want to say happy birthday. Happy birthday to Audra Brown. Have a blessed, wonderful, and safe 50th birthday. Welcome to the club. Hope that you have many more. If you celebrated a birthday weekend gone, I want to say happy birthday and continue blessing. I have the word of the week for you guys. Philia is not with us this today. She had stuff. She's in the process of moving, so she will be back next week, God's willing. So the word of this week I have is percussion. And percussion is music involving drums and other instruments, such as gongs, bells, tambourine, rattles, and different stuff. All these are percussions that you make songs with. And it's very nice. So that's the word of this week is percussions. Now, I have a health tip for you guys this week. I want to talk a little bit about what is the belly button. Your belly button, also called the navel and umbilicus, has no function after birth and is simply a scar or remnant of the umbilical cord that connects you and your mother when you are in the uterus. The blood from the mother placenta flows through the umbilical cord and provides oxygen and nutrients to a baby during pregnancy. And it is cut and removed after birth, leaving a scar. All placentas mammals have navels. Marsupials like kangaroos and egg-laying mammals like platypus don't have them. In animals, they are flatter, hidden in fur, and hard to see. In humans, navels come from a very shape and size, and the belly button anatomy is determined by how the scar heals and dries after the umbilical cord is cut. Navel shape is just an industrial trait, just like how some people have dimples. Primary navel shapes may be an innie, which is concave and goes in towards your body, or an outie that is convex and produce out. An outie forms when remaining cord stump protrudes instead of sinking inward. Outie is less common than an innie, and the present is only about 10% of people. Occasionally, an outie belly button may be caused by an umbilical cord hernia or other medical conditions, but usually it is just a normal variation in shape. Pregnancy can also stretch the navel outer, turning an innie into an outie. Common innie belly button types include horizontal, vertical, round, oval, T-shape, light bulb shape. Why do belly buttons smell? If not cleaned regularly, belly button can produce an unpleasant odor. Other possibility reason why a belly button smell is bad included infection. In study, researchers found 2368 different species of bacteria living in the navel of 66 individuals, and each person's navel had 67 types of bacteria. Because the belly button can tap moisture, the skin inside provides an environment in which the bacteria can breathe, which can lead to bacterial or yeast infection along with odor. There may be pain and in brownish or yellow discharge if you have a belly button infection. Belly button lint, dead skin cells, hair bacteria, and cloth fiber can accumulate in the belly button and produce a bad smell. A study found that hair around the navel may be a culprit for an accumulation of lint. Cleaning outer and lint usually remove the outer stuff in the navel as well as helping keeping it clean. Over the time, dead skin cells as succumb can collect in the belly button, create or navel stone. There is similar to blackheads and can be removed with blunt-ended, non-sharpened tweezer rather than being pressed out. Navel stone formation can be prevented by regularly cleaning your navel. So that's my health tip for you guys about the belly button. You see how important the parts of your body are? We really have to take good care of your body and make sure that, you're cleaning up properly, because different parts of your body could have an odor and we don't want that. So I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend, and I hope everyone is doing well. So we're going to talk a little bit about National Caribbean American Heritage Month. And Andy and I are going to discuss, and he has some statistics there for us to, converse about. And any help, anybody that is watching us right now, share the page, please. Share the page so other people could come in the conversation, and we will get started. Andy? Unmute. Unmute. Right.
I'm here.
Yes. Welcome, welcome. You are no stranger to Motivational Monday. And I think the topic that we want to talk about today is so prevalent to us Caribbean people, especially living in America. And I wanted to just read a little of what, because a lot of people may not know about the Caribbean American Heritage Month. And I'll just read a short overview on it. Every June, we celebrate the Caribbean American Heritage Month, recognizing the great historical contributors of various people whose roots can be traced to the countries that make up the Caribbean sub-region of the Americas. After the success of an advocacy campaign launched in 2004, Caribbean Heritage Month was recognized for the first time on a federal level on June the 5th, 2006, when then President George W. Bush issued a presidential proclamation to establish the month of June as a time to celebrate the great contributions of Caribbean Americans to the fabric of our nation and to pay tribute to the common cultures bond of friendship that unites the United States and the Caribbean countries. So, Andy, we can go from here now, and you can enlighten us now about more about it.
Well, there's a story behind that story that you just read, and if you were on point, you kind of condense it. But I wanted to expound on it because if we don't know the history, I
Correct.
don't think we'll get involved.
Correct.
And that's where it's like fading away, something that our ancestors fought for, people before us, and it's called Heritage Month. So I had the opportunity to look up what the heritage part of it means.
Right.
Um, um, there's so much, herited. The etymology of that word is that which may be inherited.
Right.
Um, Inheritance, ancestral. Um, it's something that is passed down to us that we inherit, and that's where that word came in. And now there's a heritage and legacy; they go hand in hand. So legacy now is something that is left behind for you. You like, like when you like, what's your legacy that you leave behind?
Right.
What is known about you? So they let's see. So let me kind of give you an overview from above of how this thing came into being.
Right.
So I had a conversation today with the lady who spearheaded it, Dr. Claire Nelson, my personal friend. She's spearheading it. She's in charge of the Institute of Caribbean Studies, and
Mm-hmm.
she's been quite involved. She's from Jamaica, and I could remember when we first started to really celebrate it. She flew me up to DC, to the Rotunda, where they had all these different events and different speakers from the Caribbean, from all different places. So
Right.
she had a vision and she was going through with it. So let me read it what in a nutshell what it is. So Institute of Caribbean Studies, which she heads, efforts to establish a National Caribbean American Heritage Month began in 1999. See how long ago?
Yes.
1999, with an outreach to President Bill Clinton asking for the recognition of August as National Caribbean American Heritage Month. This resulted in the first White House Caribbean American community briefing being held at the Clinton White House in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, a now defunct ad hoc group of Caribbean Americans led by Doreen Thompson organized efforts to get June declared as Caribbean Heritage Month in Washington, D.C. ICS, which is the Institute of Caribbean Studies, joined forces with the ad hoc group in June of 1999, but by 2000, the group dispersed.
Mm.
In June of 2000, ICS took on the mantle of leadership in Washington, D.C., changed the name to National Caribbean American Heritage Month, and organized events in June under the banner. Efforts to engage the White House were fruitless.
Mm.
Were fruitless. In 2001, ICS was joined by the Trans-African Forum and the Caribbean Staff Association of the World Bank to organize events during June, promoting recognition as June as National Caribbean American Heritage Month, and the momentum slowly began to build. In 2004, the efforts gathered steam when the official campaign for June as National Caribbean American Heritage Month was launched upon the tabling of a bill in the U.S. Congress by Congresswoman Barbara Lee, with language provided by ICS founder Dr. Claire Nelson. ICS worked with the Office of Congresswoman Barbara Lee to galvanize support for the bill from organizations across the country, which was part of that was included Broad Caribbean Carnival at that time, and
Right.
also organize events on Capitol Hill in recognition of June 2004. The bill was reintroduced and passed the House in June 2005 and the Senate in February of 2006. A proclamation making the resolution official was signed by President George Bush on June the 5th, 2006. Since the declaration, the White House has issued an annual proclamation recognizing June as Caribbean American Heritage Month. This year marks the 2005, so we say the 20th year,
Yeah.
21st, 21st year, celebrated as Caribbean American Heritage Month. The campaign to designate June as National Caribbean Heritage Month was spearheaded by Dr. Nelson, founder and president of the ICS. Through the commemoration of this month, she hopes to enjoy that America is reminded that its greatness lies in its diversity with Caribbean immigrants, from founding father Alexander Hamilton to journalist Malcolm Gladwell, who have shaped the American dream. Actress and singer Sherry Lee Ralph of Jamaican heritage and basketball great Rick Fox of Bahamian heritage were named official spokesperson for the National Caribbean American Heritage Month in 2006. So that's the history.
Right.
Okay.
So pause for a moment. I just want to say thank you guys for locking in. Melvin, Lana, Anthony, Shawnette, June, and others who looking in. And we are discussing Caribbean American Heritage Month. And we want to know why it is we doesn't really hear much about it. Why it is it's dying in the sense that, I have never really heard about American Heritage Month until today, you could say, because knowledge is power. So, Andy, with that said, I was reading here too, they were saying not all migration was voluntary. However, during the 17th to 19th centuries, many Africans were forcibly brought to British colonies of the Caribbean as slaves. Once the slave trade became legal in the British Empire in 1807, South Asia and East Asia in particularly were brought to present day Guyana, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago as indentured laborers. And I know that we have a lot of indentured laborers because, from the East Indian and the Africans, right?
Correct.
Now, I know this should be a month that we should really celebrate because this is our people. This is our heritage. So where is it dying? Why?
Well, in speaking with Dr. Nelson this morning, boy, she was like almost in tears because what has been happening is that we had wrong square pegs and wrong holes. We had people with different agendas, personal agendas. So she said it like this, and she was correct. Too much individualization with the people who are connected to push the movement forward. So everybody has an agenda.
Right.
How much money they could make. What's in it for me?
Right.
And not studying about the legacy. So for example, let's just talk about Carnival. That's
Right.
one aspect of culture.
Right.
Why is there not a museum somewhere, maybe in Washington, where all those elaborate costumes that we see in the United States, made in the United States, not in Trinidad or Jamaica or any place, in the United States, why is there not a museum? Why?
Right.
Why? So what's going to happen? It will eventually die out. It will
Right.
eventually die out because we are not leaving the kids, the next generation, we are not leaving
The
them with
legacy.
anything. The legacy, that's a part of it, the legacy. So nothing is happening. So I well, when I was in charge of the carnival, one of my directives was that every June carnival should be launched in Florida.
Right.
Well, it happened
Yes,
with
because seeing that June is they give us this month, they give it to us. So
correct.
what can we do to revive this movement?
Well, we got to. There are a lot that needs to be done. I mean, we have the wrong people in charge of those. Well, I say not the wrong people, visionless people.
Right.
Who because we did it at Broward Carnival. We made sure June. Well, we went to the city of Miramar and we advocate, and they gave us it, and we had the best band launchings that was ever held
in
the
June.
city of in June. In 2006, I think it was. I think it was the same year, or either 2007. 2006, 2007, somewhere there, and it was phenomenal. That is not happening now. So nowhere across the country, we are not getting this fire about the Caribbean presence in North America. So
Right.
I have a program which I'm going to talk to you about later to give you some details where I initiated based on discussions with Dr. Nelson and others. So there's a lack of consistency, and then we have the wrong people with no vision doing anything. I took it so far. I had the mayor of the city of Hollandale Beach.
Mm-hmm.
I said, hey, we could be a hub. People fly to China and all these places to buy materials.
Right.
I would like a place in Hollandale Beach where I can go to China, Japan, these places and buy these materials. So instead of people going all the way from the Caribbean islands, going to Japan or China. Now they're coming to Hollandale Beach. She was on board. Again, everybody dropped the ball.
Right.
You know, no vision, right? So
Yes.
so that's just one aspect of it. So what needs so the problem, the issue is the lack of involvement despite the resources. That's the problem. Lack of involvement, because you're saying for the first time you're hearing about it.
Yes.
I'm like, wow, this is our month. This is our
Yeah.
month.
That's what I'm saying.
June, Caribbean American. This is our
Our
month.
month.
What's going on? Nobody. June is almost over. Not
Yes.
one event
Nothing.
commemorating it. I know Claire's fighting in Washington, Dr. Nelson, to do her things, you know, but she needs help. And then we have to be selective now in who are we going to put in charge to kind of like organize, orchestrate this type of stuff. You know, I gave up Carnival in 2008. I walked away from Carnival for my own personal reasons. But
Right.
it's just not about Carnival.
Right.
It's
It's our
about
culture.
it's
Our
about the month.
heritage. Our
It's about
forefathers. Our parents. Our
right.
ancestors.
Right. So I made a commitment to her that next year June is going to be different, because we're going to push this initiative next year June. Everyone, as much as possible, we have all the outlets, all the platforms, so that next year it should be celebrated at a high level.
Right.
You can't tell me you're doing Labor Day. Labor Day is what?
October.
How
Sorry,
long?
September.
And how long it's been around?
For many years.
What do we have to show?
Nothing.
Thank you. Boston Carnival, how long it's been around?
For many years.
What do they have to show?
Nothing.
That's what I'm talking about. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So we are leaving those kids with nothing. You know, the carnivals need to be archived, needs to be documented. Nobody is doing that. I have all the information, at least for the carnival in South Florida, you know, but these need to be, you know, documented and leave a history. When I was involved with the carnival, I brought up David Lopez, who was the president of the National Carnival Band Leaders Association. I brought him up to the school board to get him into the schools. As a matter of fact, he opened a door in 2009 for all the carnivals, and I'm the only one who accepted. Nigeria, Chief Edeme Duke, he came to Trinidad, fell in love with Carnival, and held the first National Carnival Conference in Nigeria. He invited everybody, New York, Boston, Miami, wherever there was Carnival. I called all of these and none of them showed up. None of them had no interest.
Right.
Not one of the leaders. Again, what? Visionless. I'm the only one who was there representing what? Florida.
Right.
That's all I could represent. That's all I know. You know, I talk about the history, and there were some great connects, and now there's a big, based on that, there's one of the biggest carnivals in Nigeria. Their carnival is held in December.
Okay.
Right? Working together with the Trinidad and Tobago government.
Right.
So the challenge is individualisms, no structure, and no major city impact. People should be aware in June. Hey,
yes,
Caribbean American Heritage Month. People should be wearing their flags.
Yes.
We should have some big major event, a nice
because
banquet.
Puerto Ricans had a day.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's a big thing here in
Yes.
New York. Everybody have a day.
But we have it and we're not
St.
using
Patrick
it.
had a day.
We have it, but we're not using it.
Exactly. Because
We should have a big parade
again,
all across the country.
we don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. This is news. So we have
Right.
to push it now. Push the platform that, hey, this June is our month to celebrate. You know, come out, represent.
We should have a big banquet with the governor and, you know, and all these people to give recognition and proclamations, right? So that it doesn't die out. It's dying. So when you called me and said you wanted me to come on, that's all I was thinking about. I am thinking, this is June, man. There's no knowledge of Caribbean American Heritage Month especially my neck of the woods. We have one of the largest Caribbean American populations, and I'm talking about the English speaking Caribbean. Right. So what are we doing? So scripture says people without a vision would perish, and that's what's happening. There's no vision. The leaders are all in it. I mean, they're given some exorbitant salaries. to do what? What
Right.
are these people doing with these salaries? Filling their pockets and don't have a clue or no interest in the culture, in the longevity of the culture. That's what's happening right now. So
Right.
we in a big dilemma. We in
Hmm.
a big dilemma. Why was it not celebrated this year? Not one major event to
None.
say, hey, this is we thing, boy, none of that. We still have the opportunity though, but we
Right.
have to start to engage these discussions and bring it down, to the school levels, which
Right.
is something that I worked on, and engage the politicians. We have a lot of Caribbean American politicians. So
Correct.
we have to engage them to push this movement forward. Who's going to do it? I can't do it by myself. Just like Claire told me today, she said, Andy, I know you're hard, but you can't do it by yourself. So you got to put a team together. So I'm going to be pulling together a team, somebody from Jamaica, Grenada, Guyana, Haiti, and somebody else I'm missing. So
Barbados.
Barbados. Yeah, that's what I'm Bajan by my mom was Bajan, so I have Bajan family. But so that's the challenge. The solution, I can give you the solution.
Yeah.
The solution is we have to have a major campaign. We have to form some type of foundation to as an advocacy group, right?
Yeah.
For example, I started when I was I started a group in South Florida called the Trinidad and Tobago Diaspora. Jamaica has a fledgling, a great diaspora, and I was emulating them. The diaspora was hijacked by somebody who had ulterior motives, and all they do now is have parties. All they do is have my vision was that we're gonna meet, we're gonna discuss Trinidad issues,
Right.
come up with a paper, present it to the council to take to Trinidad, with crime and all these different things. We meet on Saturday, every one Saturday a month. We meet for a couple of hours and we
Right.
talk and we strategize and we bring people of influence, people who have some knowledge or
Right.
anybody who is interested. That was my vision. It never happened.
Mm.
So it was hijacked. And now, well, I haven't heard them for a while, but all they were doing is having a great party, a parang, and the this and the that, but nothing to do about the diaspora needs.
Right.
So we have to look at all the different diasporas: Haitian diaspora, Jamaican, Guyana, Barbados diaspora. We all got to come together for us to really celebrate this thing called Caribbean American Heritage Month. Man, people should be excited and waiting for next year for things to happen. So we have to create the excitement.
Right.
So one of the things I did is I developed a program. Let me pull it up here. I developed a program called Explore the Caribbean.
Right.
This program, let me get the right one. I have so many screens open here.
Yeah.
Um, um, so here's the background information for this program. Now, this is a program, anybody can use it. I am open to it. It's copyrighted, so anybody trying to steal it. But my intent is for it to go global, well, international, well, and more low and more nationwide, national for say. It was so Explore the Caribbean is a program that was developed because of the rapid increase in the Caribbean population in North America over the last 2 decades. It specifically targets the South Florida region with Broward, Miami-Dade, and Palm Beach counties as the core. This program was developed by me, a Caribbean leader, and the Pulse of the Caribbean community in South Florida. It says Dr. Ansola was the former presidency of Broward Caribbean Carnival and a program developer. He has managed similar social service programs in the past in both Miami-Dade, Broward, and Broward County public and private schools and churches. Experience in diversity training, anger management, disaster emergency management, substance abuse, mental health, grief, and loss and healing. So this program is recommended for middle and high school age children and would
Right.
work best as an after school or a summer program.
Right.
It is recommended to be completed during Caribbean American Heritage Month in June. See how
Mm.
long ago I
Yeah.
developed that? This program can be done through partnerships with various social service agencies, schools, churches, corporations, and other cultural funding institutions. Resources for the program are minimal, and most of the funding is for the delivery of services. The budget for the program is about $12,000, and it can be moderate since most of the participating agency may already have the basic resources needed, such as space, office equipment, transportation, writing materials, etc.
Right.
The program will provide literacy, dialogue, and a clear understanding of the presence of people of the Caribbean or of Caribbean descent in the South Florida community. Explore the Caribbean is an alternative to repeated programs that are offered in after-school programs. It is a safe alternative program for everyone and has the capability to adapt it to a train-the-trainer model. The purpose and objective: Explore the Caribbean provides an opportunity to merge classroom learning and hands-on experience with community resources. The goal is to be an inclusive educational program that can be used as a diversity tool, broadening the base of Caribbean acceptance and understanding in a safe environment conducive to learning. Last but not least, hopefully the program will be adopted by every school district and social service agency in the nation as the Caribbean influence continues to make its mark on the North American landscape. It creates an incentive for establishing local and national driven after-school summer programs in areas where the Caribbean presence positively impacts all sectors of the community. It involves collaboration between children and their parents, representatives from schools and government agencies, such as local law enforcement, local parks and recreation departments, individuals from community-based organizations, and the private sector. It would work best through partnerships between schools and local community resources to provide literacy, academic enrichment, and safe, constructive alternatives for middle and high school age children. At the conclusion of the program, participants will be A, educated and appreciate the dynamics of the Caribbean American presence and influence in their communities; B, interact with Caribbean Americans with a greater understanding of their cultural practices; C, understand the history of the Caribbean American migration to the U.S. and other parts of the world; and D, appreciate the presence of the Caribbean American in their communities. And I have different elements. So my plan was I have different sections, breakout where I was gonna bring in people from, because we have people in every field you could think about.
Right. Yes.
In academia.
So where they can find this program?
Well, it's not. It's in mine. I haven't posted it anyway. If they're interested, they need to reach out to me, and because you know how it works. You know how it works. Somebody will take this and run with it.
Right.
So if they want to reach out to me, so for example, they're gonna get a pre-test of Caribbean understanding.
Okay.
And then discuss the pre-test. And then discuss the Caribbean island demographic, geography, location, the curriculum. We're going to talk about Caribbean migration and ancestry. Interview someone, a friend, a relative, or a classmate from the Caribbean or of Caribbean descent. So every time they're going to have an assignment.
Assignment, yes.
Yeah. Then they're going to have Caribbean education, schools, grade level testing, teaching styles, technology, languages, group of, then they're going to do one with more Caribbean education, Caribbean authors. We're going to have a book fair, right? We have a lot of Caribbean authors here. We have Dr. Carol Boyce Davis. We have Miss Lee, all of these people. And plus I'm an author also.
Right.
Then we're going to do one with, which one is one? We're going to do a book review. They're going to do a book review on Caribbean and they're going to present it. There's another one, professionals. I'm going to bring in professionals to come and talk to them about, the different areas that they are in.
Right.
We're going to do one with politics and elected officials. We're going to bring them in. We're going to do a session on religion and beliefs. Bring that in. We're going to do a session on sports. Brian Lara already has wind of this program through a personal friend of mine. Right? Cricket, sports, soccer, all of this stuff. Then they're going to do they're going to culminate with a field trip to Broward Regional Park in Lauderdale, right, where they're going to play netball and all that different Caribbean cricket, where we play. Then we're going to talk about the festivals, the cultures, and the ethnicity. And then we're going to end up with an appreciation day So I'm bringing in all these professionals in, getting the business involved. Like I already had spoken to BDC many years ago, which is one of our major groceries here. He's from Guyana, but he has always submitted everything that I have done.
Right.
Joy's Roti Shop.
Right.
They have always been very helpful.
Right.
So I have this program costs about $12,000. That's a tax write-off,
Yeah.
right? And most of the money is going to be paying for the services,
Right.
right? But at the end of the day, people will walk away. So now they would understand the impact of Caribbean American Heritage Month. That's why I created that program. And I want to give a shout out to Jillian Smart, who kind of like peeked that into my head many years ago.
Very good. And with all the years, you still had that knowledge there, Andy. I told
Well,
her to
it's a
open my YouTube channel.
it's a passion that I have.
Yeah.
It's a
You
passion
have a
that I
lot
have
of knowledge to share. You
for
have
for
a
the
lot.
for the Caribbean, because one of my mantles that I stood on before I got knocked off the throne was that I was born on a Juve morning
Okay.
at San Fernando General Hospital. Although I'm from Faizabad, I grew up in
Right.
Faizabad. I was born on a Juve morning. Pan was on the promenade, right? So I am a carnival baby, carnival born baby. So Juve morning I was born. So that was my mantle that I stepped on to elevate myself in the carnival world. And I had people calling me from all over the world who wanted to start a carnival.
Right.
And I had to, like, based on my calling, having discovered my calling, I had to move away, but still is a passion of mine. Anywhere I go, if you look right now on the screen here, you see I have a Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah. You represent.
Everywhere I go, every day except Saturdays. Well, no, sorry. Even on Sunday, I go to church. I wear if I have a tie, I have a Trinidad and Tobago type in. I have a Trinidad and Tobago lapel everywhere I go. And guess what? It's a conversational piece.
Right.
Because sometimes I would go places and you would know the Trinidadians who with the American accent, they would be talking that American thing. When they see the flag here, oh, you from Trinidad?
Yeah.
So I represent Trinidad and Tobago because I have a passion. That's my country of birth. And I ate the cascadura. You know the legend of the cascadura, right?
No, I never eat that.
You never heard the legend of the cascadura?
No, I never eat that.
Oh my, go read it. Look up the legend of the cascadura. Those who eat the cascadura will. The legend says, oh no, you have homework. The cascadura.
Yeah.
If you eat the cascadura, you got to return home.
Uh-huh.
And Dr. Eric Williams had a brain drain philosophy, and I do not want to be a part of it. You come out here, you get the education, and you stay out here. That's not where I'm at. I want to go back home and give all the skills that I've acquired here.
Right.
I think I can help with the crime situation. But who wants to listen to me? I think I can help in many areas with the homelessness. I know I can. With anything to do with helping, that's what God has gifted me with. So the discussion is where, what are we going to do? How can we get this involved? How can we get involved and celebrate what was rightly given to us by our ancestors? That's what I have in a nutshell.
Yeah, I think it's so important because, as I told you, this is the first time I really hearing about it, and if it's something is we think, we should have a big show with pan and different things just to celebrate our heritage, African drummings and different things to celebrate where we came from. I mean, there's all different parts of the Caribbean, but I mean, we have so many people in so many high places too that could contribute to make this a success, or at least even to celebrate it,
So just like you said, they have the Puerto Rican Day.
Yeah.
Why not in June? In June, we have a Caribbean American Day.
Right.
Caribbean American Day. Similar, same thing what they're doing for Puerto Rico, same thing we're gonna do. We're gonna duplicate, but we always try to be better than. But that's okay.
No,
that's
we can have a parade with masqueraders and the pan
and then we converge into some big stadium or something. and then there's display and cultural foods and arts and folklore, and the professors and the book launchings and the books, and all these different people, all these celebrities, Brian Lara, Clive Lloyd, all these different people, all these big soccer greats from all over the place, Caribbean American, from the English speaking Caribbean. We have that here.
Right.
But how do we get engaged? Because as I said, as Dr. Nelson said, we are too individualistic. Everybody's in it to make a dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing is wrong in making a dollar, but not on the backs of our ancestors, where at the end of the day, it only benefits the individual. It should affect the society. That's why my Feed the Homeless initiative is growing. It's growing leaps and bounds, and someday I know I'll get a building to do what I want to do. That one-stop building. And by the way, that's this Saturday. Anyone who wants to involve, if they want to donate, right now we're looking for bins, plastic bins, underwear, male underwear, female underwear, gift pack, care packages.
Right.
That's our biggest need right now, and volunteers. And we do give community service hours for people who are in the school, or even if you're in the prison system and you need community service hours. We do that. Right now I have a friend of mine. Well, he became a very good friend. He's building a portable shower.
Okay.
Right. So all of these little things we have to do, but we
so
just
like how many people so you catering for?
Where, for the homeless?
The homeless. How many people?
Oh no, we normally feed 100 to 150 people. We have a friend of mine, my wife's friend, Bernadette Lamy.
Yeah.
She cooks. She
I know Bernadette, yeah.
Okay, Bernadette, she religiously, as a matter of fact, she called me Friday. Is it tomorrow? I'm like, no, Bernadette, it's the last Saturday. She's like, okay. But she cooks. And when Bernadette cooks, Bernadette, it's real food. Yes. Right? So they get a hot meal and it's going. I have a couple other people interested. So it's very important, that not just the homeless stuff, because we have homeless Caribbean Americans. Who's addressing them?
Yeah, nobody.
We have homeless addicts from addicts from the Caribbean.
Right.
People with mental health issues from the Caribbean. So there needs to be some forum, some discussion, some panel discussions. So as I was researching today, there's a group in the IMF, the World Bank, strictly Caribbean. I looked at the lady in charge. She's from Haiti. I'm going to be reaching out to them. I'm doing some research to reach out to them because they have a vacant post.
Okay.
There's a vacant post. I don't know if I'm always ambitious, but I wanted to tap into them because the World Bank, IMF, they could direct us to funds. They could say, yes, this, even less for this program, we should have this program across the country. Don't you think?
I think so.
Which and as again, it's a train the trainer. So Andy doesn't have to be there. The first year, I come and I teach you, and then you run it, and then I'm going to do my thing in Florida, and you do your thing wherever else. Yes. This should be across the country. This should be in Houston. This should be in New York. This should be in Boston. This should be in Philly. All these places. We should have programs or discussions, high-level discussions, to push this agenda to let us know, hey, we are here, and we appreciate that recognition.
We play a big part anyhow in the economy,
A big part. We send over, if I remember, in remittance, we sent, this is old statistics. We used to send like 13 million or billion. I'm not even sure remember that figure to our countries, when our countries back home. I think it was 13 million. Could be more. No, it was billions, man. It was something in the billions that we would repatriate back to our island of origin.
Right.
So we should have forums. We play a major impact. Our vice president, Jamaican heritage.
Right.
I mean, what are we doing? I mean, she's been there for like almost 4 years. We have never tapped into her for that.
Right.
Nobody has pushed the agenda on that. That has been swept under the carpet. And now election is coming again. Oh, everybody's going to be visible.
Right.
Because it goes with the politicians. But we want to make a mark, and we can do it in each state.
Yeah, but one person can't do it though. We need people to come together to create something.
Well, So I am an organizer, as you know, by trade. I'm a program developer. I'm willing to, if people want to reach out, to let's do something. And if you're reaching out, this is what I'm saying to your audience. Please don't have a personal
Agenda.
agenda.
Yeah.
If you have and I will find you out early. I can find out early where your agenda is, because, when I look at all these different festivals, I'm looking at the people who are running it. Agenda is all personal, has nothing to do with how can I forward when I leave. What is going to be legacy of Miami Broward Carnival?
Right.
Nothing is written. I offered to write, to document it, to do the research. I have all the information. Nobody wants to listen to me. Or I think they maybe want me to do it for free. Ain't happening.
Right.
Not with the salaries I hear that people are being paid.
Yes.
And my time is very important. So this is something that I need to be compensated. I don't
Right.
want to get rich off of it, but it
No.
takes time. It
Takes
takes a
time.
lot of time. As a
Time.
matter of fact, yesterday I was going through one of my boxes and I found stuff from the original Broward Caribbean Carnival.
Okay.
Flyers, posters, even of that carnival launch that I spoke to you about. I have
Yeah.
all of that saved
So let me ask you something, Andy. Have you ever thought of like opening a museum in Florida, seeing that you have a wide background, a Caribbean
that
background over there?
that's my goal, but Andy can do it by himself.
Right.
It's a lofty goal that can happen. Florida has land. Florida has land. And I'm not talking in the boonies. Florida has land. The county has land. The cities have land. Let's start engaging these discussions where somewhere along the line with a timeline, we had a great guy who was working with us, Albert Tucker, God bless his soul. He was with the the Florida. He was with the cultural. No, what is it called? It's a big group, but he was in charge. Funded by the county. Nikki Mohan now is in charge of it,
Okay.
right? Where he was actually helping us work through those. Because I told him that was my vision. We
Right.
need to have a big place where people are gonna come in and be like, wow.
Right.
Wow, it must be big and it should have everything that you could think about culturally, art form, book fairs, displays, and it's going to create jobs also,
Right.
but this needs a capital campaign. Andy can't do it alone, but Andy can be a consultant or an advisor because I know the landscape. I know how to play the political game. It's a game, and
Yeah.
I remind the politicians they work for me.
Right.
And I am a voice. I mean, sometimes I'm a bit brash, but it is. So I would say, well, if you cannot give me this, I am a staple in the Caribbean community. I'm one of the Caribbean community leaders. I'll just talk to my people and we'll vote accordingly. And
Right.
normally, next thing I hear is, okay, what it is you want.
Right.
But I don't want to have to do that, because it's out there. We need to really come together and really think. There are young kids coming up who, who maybe can take this vision forward. I may not
Right.
be here, but why are we killing something that was worked hard for? We're killing our culture.
Yep.
June is Caribbean American Heritage Month, period.
Yes.
Everything else came after that. Everything else, all the other things in June is officially Caribbean American Heritage Month. Initially, we were the forerunners for the month of June.
Right.
But now we're not hearing anything about it.
No, nothing on it, nothing, But as you say, it's the younger people now. We have to push it. We have to get the word out there, and it's ours. Our ancestors, they fought for this. They passed it.
Mhm.
Come on. So
Yeah, we have to pass. We have to pass the baton. Because we are living in some perilous times.
yes.
And we have these young minds coming up. All these architects. So I saw one of those Caribbean. My grandson, as a matter of fact, my second grandson, he as I said last week, he graduated with his associates, and
Right.
he's studying engineering. Maybe he can design it. I mean, I'm not just saying, being a
Yeah.
little biased, but we have so many talented people out there. that
Right.
can actually embrace the concept and carry this on. 100 years from now, if we the road we are going, nobody's going to know about none of the carnivals.
Right.
Yeah, nobody's going to know about the heritage, right? And then that will eventually die out. I did a study on that actually, and they said festivals if there is not enough synergy, they
Right.
eventually die out. So 100 years
It,
from now,
it
if we
wouldn't
don't do
have
the right thing,
wouldn't have
there's
this
nothing in
month
the
for us.
books.
Yeah, it wouldn't have this month for us.
Yeah, there's nothing in the books. Nothing in the books. All these, and people are dying out. This guy from Trinidad, Carnival King, he died last week. What's his name? He would
What's that?
Preto. Preto.
Okay.
He's a mass man known across the world in all the
Right.
carnivals. The king. He died. What about his costumes? His costume should be on display.
Right.
And this is not a Trinidad thing. That's what I
No.
want people to get. This is a Caribbean thing because once we have left the shores of Trinidad, we have been transplanted into the US. So Carnival and every other thing Caribbean has to take on an American image. The laws are different,
Yes.
right? So we have to be very creative, right? Everything is different. So it's not a Trinidad thing.
Right.
It's a Caribbean thing. So I'm asking people from the Caribbean to come on board.
Right.
Let's have this discussion. And I don't if we start in these discussions, I just need, as those countries are identified, one representative whose heart is in the right place, because when you have five or more, it gets convoluted.
Yes.
This one, and this one, and we have meeting after meeting and come to no conclusion. This must be a ad hoc meeting where everybody has an input.
Right.
Every
Have
meeting we push
meeting.
the
You have
agenda.
no I in team.
Correct. So
Yeah.
I don't know if your audience has any questions or anything. You can share my number and my
Yeah.
contact
I have
information.
questions for Andy on this. I mean, this month is our month, and we haven't heard anything about it. And I reached out to Andy today and I said, "Would you like to come on?" And he was like, "Yes, let's talk about this." And I didn't even know Caribbean American Heritage Month is our month. Our Caribbean people from all the Caribbean countries, whether it be South America, whether it be wherever, because I know some people, especially my GT people, that they say they're not from the Caribbean, you know.
No, they are.
But we all are. Once you have a CARICOM passport, I just be like, you're Caribbean. So, we have to come together and just celebrate our month. But as you say, it's bigger than us too, in the sense that we really need to get the backings and help to push it, to keep it alive, or else it will die of natural causes as everything else.
Definitely, and so there's a ripple effect across the community with everything associated with the Caribbean, especially when I'm involved. For the fact that I always look out for Caribbean people. I look out for everyone, by the way, you know that. But
Yes.
there's a special something when I hear that accent, when I know you're not full-blooded American,
Right.
but you have some type of something behind you, whether it's Nigerian or whatever it is. So October the 10th, which is National Homeless Day, I'm
Yeah.
having an event, the second year. It's called Hearts Fest. It's
Mhm.
where the youths, um, school age youth, will have an opportunity to get information as to resources, and just to create an awareness to the population. It was big last year. This year is going to be bigger, and because God has blessed me, anything I touch turns to gold.
Right.
I can boast, I can brag on that, right? Because my heart is in the right place. So October the 10th, Hearts Fest, look out for it. I started reaching out for sponsors. Um, and last year I did it on my own with no sponsors, no major sponsors.
Right.
But I didn't have a dime, but guess what? It came off. I had to
Yeah.
pay for a stage. I didn't have no money. Money came.
Right.
I had to pay for food. No, somebody gave. I
Right.
had to pay for this. It just came.
Right.
So this year, I'm jumping ahead of the gun. I got Hot 105. They volunteered and gave me their services,
Yeah.
interview and the DJs and all of that stuff. I got a rapper, a Christian rapper, who was a drug addict. He came for free, you know. Um, and guess what? There's a lot of Caribbean American homeless children in Broward County schools.
Right.
And I'm sure all across the country where they have these big numbers, like in California and New York and all these other places. So what are we doing?
So
Caribbean American Heritage Month.
I have Mr. Francis Ragu saying when Trinis learn how politics work in the US, then you will get a voice. Election has consequences. Now is the time to register voters. Merima had a major concert, Caribbean American Month, with many reggae artists and Farmer Nappy. So they had something in Merima.
Okay, well, we need more.
Yes.
We need more. Like, so we want to make sure when we're doing this, I this is just my thinking again, that we do it under the auspices of Dr. Nelson's organization, Institute of Caribbean Studies, because now that would have been on her website. I mean, she gets a lot of hits, and I'm not knocking the event. I mean, I wasn't even aware of it, so that's on me. But how much was it advertised? Was it a signature Caribbean American Heritage Month presents or something like that? I don't know, Francis, but I know you are actually involved. You have been one of my, we are my homeboys from Moruga, and we have been in the trenches together when it comes to culture. I know you ran for office on 2 occasions and wasn't successful, but I know you will continue to run, and however I could support you, I will. So let's thank you for that input, and let's come together and celebrate something that's worth a cause. It's a worthy cause.
Yes, and he was right here. We need a lot of the young people now to go out and vote. This election is like no other election. You know, before they were saying, "Oh, Trump cannot be president," and he was there. He's running again. He's a felon. He's running, and we need people who just like to talk. Put your mouth and your finger where it is. Whether or not we are Democratic or Republican, we all have a right to go out there and vote. Young people, that is our rights. If you don't vote, you don't have a say, you don't have a voice.
Yeah, you can't complain.
Ancestors died. They couldn't vote long time. You understand? You remember we have so many people that Martin Luther King, we have Rosa Parks, So we have to encourage the young people and older people, middle age, any age, to go out and vote, because your vote counts. That one vote that you say, I'm not voting, I don't like this one, I don't like that one. If you don't vote, you don't have a voice, and change is a process. And if you don't vote, you know who's going to be back in power for the next how much years. You see what he did before? Look at him. He's a felon and he's still running for president. I can't understand it, but this is what laws need to be changed. So right now, we just have to go out there and encourage the young people to go out and vote.
Of course, because do you know that former Mayor Dale Holness, he lost to his Congress seat in his first run by 3 votes.
Wow.
I'm not saying that he would have won, Sheila McCormick.
Right.
But he lost by 3 votes. Wow. So all of this we got to take into consideration.
Yeah,
so the whole thing is to go out and vote.
Important. Every vote is important.
And when yesterday I was watching Jesse Owens, the movie with Jesse Owens. Man, and I'm like, I just got upset about what this guy fought for, what he stood for, and we letting that go down. We just letting Caribbean American Heritage Month just go by. Bam, it's almost done. No few people know about it. We need to do better. We need to. So programs like yours, Phyllis, thank you so much for this, this opportunity and this platform. I hope that we get some responses. Anybody's interested in the program, they can reach out to me.
Right.
And I'm willing to take it because it will definitely be one of the engines to drive this program. Next year, we're going to do better. We have to do much better.
Yeah. And Andy, thank you for always, being a guest on Motivational Monday. Because I know, you're a visionary and you have a lot of knowledge to share. And I want you to really work on your YouTube page, Andy. There's a lot of things that you could put there. It stays in the archive. Anybody who wants to look you up could just go type in your name and pull you up, and you could talk like how we talking, and put your knowledge out there, and it lives on.
I am, yeah, yeah, procrastinating would be the best word.
Yes.
But so many things are going on simultaneously, so I have to put what's more important on the stage. So like,
Let's start with your homeless project. A
well,
lot of people out there may not know what you're into. You don't have to put what you don't want to put. You could put like snapshots. You know what I mean?
so if you could put up my website, www.heartsflow.org. And I just want people to just get involved. Just come down and volunteer. That's my biggest thing, besides the funding and all the things that we need. Come down and volunteer because we actually need help. The numbers are growing, and we're doing some, I was going to do a GoFundMe, but then the Holy Spirit said, no GoFundMe. That's what the world does. Yes. Somebody's going to hear, and somebody's going to invest into that program.
The www.heartsflow.org, right?
Yeah, Heartsflow, HEARTSFLOW.org. Hearts, HEARTS,
yes,
FLOW.org. Visit the website and see what we do with the homeless. Visit the events page. You see we've been doing this for quite a while. You'll see stuff from, I think, 2007 when we started to take pictures. But we've been doing it, and it's been.
Were you on Facebook or YouTube? Which one are your website?
I am on that same website, heartsflow.org. I have a Facebook page, and I have a Instagram and a Twitter page.
All right. Twitter. Yeah, because social media is the way to go for anything to build right now.
Right. And I just want to just give back to Trinidad and Tobago. It's just my passion. I hope I can do that before God takes me from the shell.
Right.
Yeah, I just want to give back.
Well, you're giving back now. People getting your knowledge. We getting part of you when I call upon you for your help. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe. And we'll continue to keep our culture alive. I know it's a passion for you. I know it's something near and dear. And again, for people like me who didn't know it have a Caribbean American Heritage Month, now I know. And when you know better, you do better.
And that was supposed to be New York and Miami were supposed to be the two centerpieces. New York and Florida were supposed to be the two centerpieces to push it. So I'm surprised that in New York, I don't know what's happening in New York, but all I'm saying is we're going to do better next year. Next year is going to be our month. June is Caribbean American Heritage Month.
And Anthony Joseph is saying, Andy, great topic. We are our biggest enemy right in our hand and what, So, again, we need to push it. We need to get the word around. So next year, God's willing, it could be bigger, better. Come out this Saturday, support Andy and his homeless challenges that he going to, he's be down there, downtown Florida. You can tell them where you will be. Anybody want to donate, he told you what he needs. And look out for October for his next big event. And we just got to support him. Whatever little.
Oh, yeah. I'm, grateful for the support. I can't do it by my own. I can't do it on my own. I tried that and I failed miserably. I was burnt out. I think that's one also is a part of the why I had to move away from Carnival. It was burning me out, and my vision wasn't going through to those that needed to go through. So I was like, I'm wasting my time here. let me move on to, and then God just open up some doors.
Yeah, Nicole is saying, let the Lord continue to guide you. You are on the right track.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Nicole.
All right. So, Andy, have a blessed and wonderful night. Stay safe, and we'll continue our discussions.
Thank you. Keep up the good
Loving
work on your
house
end.
all the time, guys. This was Motivational Monday with myself and Andy. And loving the house. Have a blessed, wonderful, and safe week all. Have a good night, guys. All right,
All
Andy.
righty.
So
Bye.
thanks again.
Bye.
Bye bye.